Welcome to Digital Academy Weekend Edition. Let's do this. I hope you guys are doing okay, and I hope you have an awesome weekend. And let's get this started. This is about 11 o'clock on Saturday, and morning coffee time. Let's do this. All right, here's a little. We've done after school before. If you're new to the Digital Academy, maybe check out some of the Dave Chappelle one, Walk Away from Money. Let's jump into this. This is the great Alan Watts, who needs no introduction. But Alan Watts was maybe one of the first Westerners I ever heard talk about things like Buddhism and Taoism. That would have been in like the 80s and 90s. He was probably actually doing it even before that, but since he's significantly older than me, he would have came on my radar probably in the 90s. Alan Watts. Or if you were to just Google or YouTube the name Alan Watts, or you'd probably come across him. Well, nowadays he gets kind of remixed in a lot of these inspirational videos and stuff like that. But you've probably been exposed to him as a meditation teacher. But he was a much broader intellectual in general. Lots of his recordings exist, which is why you see a lot of remade videos. A lot of his students, they're recorded lectures. Okay, let's do this. I love this animation. It has a little hiccup.
Existence,
two usually.
The physical universe, is basically playful. There is no necessity for it whatsoever. It isn't going anywhere. That is to say, it doesn't have some destination that it ought to arrive at.
No goal.
But that it is best understood by analogy with music. Because music, as an art form, is essentially playful. We say you play the piano. You don't work the piano.
That's interesting.
Why? Music differs from, say, travel. When you travel, you are trying to get somewhere. One doesn't make the end of a composition the point of the composition.
Yeah, the point of the song's not
the last
If that
was so,
little
the best conductors
sound.
would be those who played fastest. And there would be composers who wrote only finales. People go to a concert just to hear one crashing chord, because that's the end. Same way in dancing. You don't aim at a particular spot in the room. That's where you should arrive. The whole point of the dancing is the dance. Now, but we don't see that as something brought by our education into our everyday conduct. We've got a system of schooling which gives a completely different impression. It's all graded.
Yeah, that's
and what we do
issues.
is we put the child into the corridor of this grade system with a kind of, come on, kitty, kitty, kitty. And yeah, you go to kindergarten, you know, and that's a great thing because when you finish that, you'll get into first grade. And then, come on, first grade leads to second grade.
What a picture. What a picture. Notice the intelligence and creativity seeping out. I think as parents, one of our goals for the other Academy members that are parents is to, like, obviously there's value in public education. There's also costs. And to try to balance some of that. Yeah, the difference between education and intellectualism is interesting. It's interesting that, anyways, let me just let him finish his point.
And so on, and then you get out of grade school, you've got high school, and it's revving up, the thing is coming, then you're going to go to college, and by Jove, then you get into graduate school, and when you're through with graduate school, you go out and join the world. And then you get into some racket where you're selling insurance, and they've got that quota to make, and you're going to make that, and all the time, the thing is coming. It's coming, it's coming, that great thing, the success you're working for. Then when you wake up one day about 40 years old, you say, my God, I've arrived. I'm there. And you don't feel very different from what you always felt. by expectation. Look at the people who live to retire and put those savings away. And then when they're 65, they don't have any energy left, they're more or less impotent, and they go and rot in an old people's senior citizens community. Because we've simply cheated ourselves the whole way down the line.
Oh, that's a rough insight.
We thought of life by analogy with a journey, with a pilgrimage, which had a serious purpose at the end, and the thing was to get to that end, success or whatever it is, or maybe heaven after you're dead. But we missed the point the whole way along. It was a musical thing, and you were supposed to sing or to dance while the music was being played.
You're supposed to sing. You're supposed to dance. It's not about the journey.
For more interesting videos like this one, please subscribe.
Love you guys.